Use your gun in a threatening manner. Point it at Ed 209.
Yes, sir.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kenny.
You now have 15 seconds to comply. You are in direct violation of Penal Code 113, Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2, 1. I am now authorized to use physical force.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, wait, is he a robot?
Gavin Newsom?
No, the end of
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.
I love basketball. That's about all I got to say on that one, brother. I mean, well, is it true? I really want to know. Inquiring minds want to know if Brittany's really Brian. Have you heard that speculation?
What?
That that he or she Brittany's a man. Have you haven't heard about that?
That Brittany Griner chick's a man? I mean, how many
it's speculation?
How many 6'9" women do you know? You know, I mean,
dude, all I'm saying is her shoulders are a lot fucking stouter than mine, bro. That's you know what I'm saying. I would not want to line up on fucking with her.
No, not at all, dude. The back to my chair just fucking fully broke, bro.
Oh, technical.
Well, no, it's been breaking slowly. You know, the fucking arm snapped.
That's the Lukowitz curse.
I know. You know, I'm not even over the weight limit for the chair or anything, dude.
They break it.
You know, the funny thing is I'm not even over the weight limit or anything. I bought it on purpose. Like I checked it. But already, I mean, I guess now I need to buy a new fucking chair like soon, dude. That sucks, bro. That's like another $70 to $150 I don't have to spend
for a cheap one, yeah.
For a cheap one, exactly, and that's how I roll.
Just go get a roll. Just go get a roll of duct tape for like $15, dude. Yeah. You can fix it.
Go on next door and maybe someone will have a chair. Say I am.
Yeah. Well, see, he's in the sticks, so next door for him's like 20 miles down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
That's his next door.
I could probably find something on Facebook Marketplace. my 55-inch TV I got when I got here to Missouri, I got it on Facebook Marketplace for $48.
Nice.
Yeah, it works. It works perfectly. Well, not quite perfectly. The main like the main functions of the TV, it has like a slight lag, so like it catches up all the time. But all the HDMI ports work perfectly, so I plug my Roku into the HDMI port, and I plug my PlayStation into the other HDMI port, and I have everything I was going to use anyway. So I mean, I don't even use the main function of it. So I mean, hey, instead of spending $350, I got it for $50. You know, whatever. But alrighty, motherfuckers, let's get into this shit. Yeah, motherfuckers, welcome to Fact You, a show that can give a fact. I'm one of your hosts, Ray Hazen Jr. You know who that guy is over there? That's your boy?
Jason McMurray, and I'm pleased to welcome Aunt Scooby today.
Yes,
our special guest host. See, there's little baby Raymond right
really
there.
His aunt.
Oh my God!
Not an act.
Can anybody believe that he was actually the fastest swimmer out of like 200 million?
That's right. A fucking winner from birth.
Winner.
Actually, it's probably the last time I ever won.
That was the one and only.
I guess it's the one that matters, though. But yeah, everybody, the special guest, this is my aunt, Aunt Sarah B., or as she likes to be called by her burlesque drag show stage name, Skaggy May.
Wowza!
That was a good one. And when you laugh right now, you look like Wade.
You know what? It's funny. Yeah, the whole family, we all resemble each other.
I look like Raymond with long hair, don't I?
Are you Ray's mom's sister?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can totally see it.
Yeah,
I can totally see it.
Yep, totally. And yeah, so she's just like the rest of us. all the Lukewitzes are the same, you know.
You just look a little less angry.
Than my mom.
You didn't grow up with Scooby in your house, so I can understand it.
No, but I was around the three boys, and
true.
I helped her and hung out. Yeah, they were crazy.
Yeah,
but they were good kids. I can tell you story after story about Raymond. You know, I was 12 years old when he was born, and so like he was like my sidekick. You know, my little sidekick, and we'd go up in the mountain and get trees. You know, by ourselves. Remember that story?
Yeah. I had uncles like that. Both my parents were the oldest of 6 children, so I've got a shit ton of cousins and second cousins, and it's like people. It's because we're Irish, you know, and people are like, "Oh, are you Mexican?" And I'm like, "Oh no, we're Irish. We just we breed."
Put it on that I was a pretty good aunt because I didn't have kids, I was still trying to hang out with all my nephews and nieces, everybody.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Was my mom's youngest brother, my favorite uncle. He was only like 11 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like 16, hanging out with like a 27-year-old, and we were buddies. Yeah, oh, buddy. So, what are we going to start out with today? What's on the skillet, Brittany?
Yeah. I thought we would touch base and touch in on this. I mean, this has got to be, and I mean, this is saying a lot, you guys. This has got to be arguably one of the most shameful things I've seen a president do in fucking history. And there's a lot of aspects to it. So for those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot of people, because like who really gives a shit? 1 about WNBA and 2 about Russia. You know what I'm saying? Well, a while back, actually just a few months ago, a WNBA star named Brittany Griner got busted. She went to Russia to finish out some league. She wasn't even playing for the NBA at the moment, I think, but she was playing something else. But anyway, she went to Russia and she brought vape pens with her, which, for those of you who don't know, it's totally illegal in Russia and it's got zero tolerance. Well, she got busted. And well, they have zero. Yeah. And so they busted her and they ended up giving her 9 years behind it. Well, you know, of course, the woke left went kind of crazy behind all this. And like complained about it, and well, basically, here, let me go ahead and read you. This is from the Daily Wire. This is what's happened now. Okay, WNBA star Brittany Griner was freed from Russia captivity Thursday in a prison exchange for a notorious Russian arms dealer. President Joe Biden announced. Griner, who was arrested in February at a Moscow airport after being caught with marijuana vaping materials, was sentenced in August to 9 years in prison. Which, honestly, yeah, that might sound, that's a lot, but for their crimes, it's not. And here's the thing, like, if you don't want to follow the law of somewhere, don't go there. You know what I'm saying? It's like illegal. Like, I want to go to Japan, but I'm not going to go there illegally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go to the Middle East because they would chop my hands off for having weed and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not going there. You know, you can pick and choose where you go. It's not like she was forced to go there. She knew very damn well where she was going, and she knew the laws. Like, I didn't, back when it was totally illegal in Nevada, I didn't take weed into Nevada. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just didn't happen. Anyway.
Well, I did. I took weed to Nevada, but I made sure that shit was high, like underneath the spare tire.
Right. But if you got
in the
busted,
trunk
though,
with some coffee on top.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Right? You get what I'm saying, though? But if you got busted, though, like, you're not going to whine about it. You're like, fuck, dude, I broke the law.
I got caught.
Right out of high school, I was scared straight because I won't say names or places or where they lived, but a friend of mine went down to Mexico, come across the border with a, like, car in the walls and shit. Oh, I didn't, so she played I didn't know. But yeah, she was thrown in jail down in Mexico and she was left there. I think they left her there for like 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
They left her and dude, not good. So you know what?
No.
I'm a mom and you know what? Exactly. If you're going to go somewhere, follow their rules. Our rules here are just all effed up. So we have no rules here, so it sucks. But, I mean, follow our rules, you're okay. Follow their rules, you're not okay. I mean, you have to follow rules. That's just how it is.
It's like the old saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I find it funny how the left wants to be like, you can't push your values upon us, as they continuously try to push their values upon other people and other countries. It's like Brittany Griner. Dude, she's been deemed not worthy to be there. Why? Because we say so. You know what I'm saying? Because America said so. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up, dude. Because one of the funniest things, I don't know if funny is the correct word. Ironic things about this is the person that they traded Griner for.
I'm just about to get into that.
Me too,
dude, like the Dr. Death, right? Or the Angel of Death. Nicolas Cage started a movie about this guy. That's how infamous this motherfucker is.
All right.
The leftists are super stoked. I mean, they are just jerking off all over themselves over this. You know what I'm saying? And what is like one of the leftists, almost every single one that's got any sort of power wants to try to fucking control your guns. Mm-hmm. They want sensible gun control and safe and responsible. They just unleashed Dr. Motherfucking Death on the world.
So the 6 foot 9 inch athlete. So let me finish reading this. So the 6 foot 9 inch athlete plays for the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury, which I just found out that was the team. WNBA. Okay, and had flown to Russia to finish her season for the UMMC. I'm not even trying to pronounce that word. That's the name of the team. Some big Russian word.
Okay. It's really big over there, dude. All the people from the United States and all the big stars, they go over there on their off season and do small contracts for big money.
Yeah. A lot of them go play in like China and shit too, like the R pros and stuff. Okay, so U.S. diplomats had been scrambling to win her release, but the efforts were complicated by Russia's internal isolation as the result of the invasion on Ukraine. The U.S. agreed to swap for arms dealer Victor Bout, an international criminal known as the Merchant of Death. Bout, a former here, let's get a little bit into who this guy is. Bout, so this is who we traded. We got back a pot-smoking gay black woman, and this hates this country.
That does not stand for the flag.
Nope. She's been trying to get it removed from being sung in the NBA. She says she won't even come out of the tunnel from the back into the arena if the anthem's played. Okay, this woman hates it. Okay, so this is what they get though. Bout, a former Soviet military translator turned international arms dealer, has been in prison for more than a decade after he was lured to Thailand in a DEA sting operation that spanned 3 continents. Victor Bout, in my eyes, is one of the most dangerous men on the face of the planet, end quote. By Michael Braun, the former chief of operations for the U.S. DEA administration. He told 60 Minutes in 2010. In 1995, when Bout was 28, he began spending time at the cargo hangars in Sharjah's International Airport in the United Arab Emirates, eventually launching his cargo airlines, Air Cease, with a small fleet of Russian planes that delivered goods to Africa and Afghanistan. In the years that followed, Bout helped fuel civil wars across the world by supplying more sophisticated weapons, sometimes to both sides of the bloody conflicts. If I didn't do it, someone else would, Bout told the New Yorker. By then, he was on the radar of U.S. and British officials. Peter Hahn, the Minister of State of Africa in Britain's Foreign Office, sounded the alarm as British soldiers in Africa came under attack by increasingly sophisticated weapons. Sanctions busters are continuing to perpetuate the conflict in Sierra Leone and Angola, with the results of countless lives are being lost and munitions are taking place. Victor Bout is indeed the chief sanctions buster and is a merchant of death who owns air companies that ferry in arms and other logistics support for the rebels in Angola and Sierra Leone and take out the diamonds which pay for those arms, aiding and abetting people who are turning their guns on British soldiers, Hahn told the House of Commons in 2000.
What are you, a fucking Winnipeg, whatever?
So I do my homework. I do my homework a little bit. That's why this is back to you, baby. I bring it hard. But anyway, so this is what's happening. So this is what Biden did, right? And
okay, wait a minute. Can I finish? I was supposed to say it right after you finished.
Good.
We're screwed.
Oh yeah. This is a man who is openly fueled sides that wage war and kill British agencies, kill American soldiers. Countless lives have been ended because of this guy, and he's just been set free for a pot smoking basketball player.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So
okay, wait. I just have. You know how I love to be the devil's advocate, man.
Yeah.
This rivals. It's the same thing but different. It's one of my favorite sayings. Same thing but different.
Yeah, right.
This is almost identical but different to the fucking Obama Bo Burdell swap.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that shit?
Vaguely,
and we traded 5 Gitmo fucking VIPs for a transgender.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
And that guy was really seriously transgender. Like that motherfucker calls himself a woman now and is running around with long hair and big lips and perky nipples and all that good shit.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Did she do something wrong? Why was she over there?
She was there playing basketball and she had weed on her, so she got arrested for it.
Oh,
I heard it was we call them e-roaches, but what I read
she had vaping stuff. Is what it was.
Yeah, it was like they come in little cartridges, like at the end of his little wand. Now you're right. Yeah, sure. Show all the flaws.
Oh, okay.
The little
that.
Yeah. And so this does have THC in it. And it's illegal there, and she knowingly took. So, okay.
Well, that's the whole thing. If you know it's illegal, then why the fuck are you doing it? I mean,
because she thinks she's above the law.
That's what I said too. Is she thinks that she's better than everybody else, and the rules don't apply to her.
What's really pissing me off is that they're leaving. Yeah, that Marine, whatever he did.
Yep, I was just about to touch. About
the Marine.
No. There's 2 people there. We could have gotten both these guys with her for this one guy. I'm telling you. But no, Biden didn't care. Biden doesn't care. See, there's two guys that were left there. A Paul Whelan, who's been there for some time, and he's someone who our own government has said is a victim of false espionage charges. Okay, he got left there. And then there's another guy there named Mark Vogel, who's been there for about a year, in Russia for weed. And he's been there for over a year. Okay? But see, the problem is these two guys are guilty of something that Brittany Garner's not guilty of. They're guilty of being straight white men.
Yeah.
She's gay, black, and a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She checks all the virtues.
It's like the trifecta of freaking wokeness. You know what I'm saying?
The smoke converges, creating a trifecta.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Some people got a race card. She's got the trifecta card.
Oh, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. She's got like a framed doctorate of victimhood on the wall. You know, from Columbia. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I just don't understand why they just let anyone just rot over there. It's like, just get our people back and throw them in our own jail. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
well, but here's the thing. If it's like the point of that is like if it's a soldier type of situation, you sent him there. He can't be guilty in your eyes. You get what I'm saying? So why send him back home? Like if Drake goes out and does something and gets busted by his mom, and I'm not mad at him, he's not going to be in punishment with me. You know what I'm saying? Despite what she says. So
here's an argument for you, and Aunt Scooby was kind of mentioning it in our pre-show talking. This was during the Obama administration, his second term. I cannot remember the goddamn guy's name, but I'm sure we can find it and pop it in there. A U.S. Marine accidentally drove into Mexico. Do you guys remember this shit? He got arrested, and what happened was a Marine got arrested in Mexico for having a firearm, because you're not allowed to have guns.
Right.
Unless you're like one of the freaking
cartel
people, or the federales. You ain't got a gun.
Hey, tomato, right?
Exactly. Do you guys remember this shit?
I know. I believe it though.
I don't know if I remember that one.
So this dude, he was a Marine, and I think, if I recall his story correctly, he was driving from Arizona to that Marine base down Southern California, 21 Palms. Is that what it is?
I don't know that one.
Anyways, he was driving from one base to another, and he was on leave, and he wasn't going the direct route. He ended up on a road. He ended up on the border, and he took a left when he zigged when he should have zagged, and he ended up on a street, a road.
He did.
That he could not turn off of. He could not get off of it, and it went to Mexico. It crossed the border.
Dude.
And they stopped. He stopped at the border. It was like they had like K-rails, those like cement barriers and shit. Like
why would you not? I don't know.
And they were like, "Oh, do you have anything to declare?" He's like, "Yeah, I got my pistol and my rifle in the back. I didn't mean to come here." And they're like, "Oh," locked him up. That guy sat in Mexican prison for like frickin'. It was like 630 days. It was almost 2 years.
Dude, first off, if I had a nickel for every time I zigged when I should have zagged, holy shit, bro.
That is the ultimate zigzag bad.
Dude, so check this out. Some years ago, I was in Solano County, down, as you know, is a not the best place. But anyway, I was going to court there, and I'm down in the holding there, getting ready to go to court. I know this is kind of a straight from the can topic, but it kind of fits in. And I'm in there with a bunch of illegals, right? And this is the same time yeah, that's a whole other show. This is the same time that they were telling me that. Remember, I was telling you how that one guy was saying, "Oh, I'm going to get deported, but I'll just be back in a week." Same guy was telling me the same story, and he was explaining to me how down there, when you get arrested, you actually don't really get any time. Like, you just get arrested and you're put in jail, and you stay there basically until your family can pay to get you out. Is kind of the way it rolls for most of them. You can get out tomorrow. You can get out.
That's what happened to my friend. They had to get so much money.
And he was also telling me the longer you're there, the more it goes up. So it's optimal to get you out sooner. It's not like it goes down because you've been there for 3 years. It's like, no, dude. Now we're going to charge you twice as much. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's all those beans and tortillas they feed you, because that's about all they fucking feed you.
Oh yeah, which isn't too far off from California prison. Also, it's pretty much.
No,
matter of fact, you get beans and tortillas for breakfast. That's your breakfast burrito. Some like liquid eggs, some liquid eggs, like rehydrated eggs, some beans and tortillas.
With my family, I just watch everybody else. I don't want to go in. I'm like, oh, you guys do that shit.
I'll watch it
on the sideline. Exactly.
I was watching that movie, Nacho Libre.
Nacho!
That Jack Black.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
Sometimes you wear stretchy pants.
And I was watching it with my Mexican friend, dude, and he was like, "That's what it's like when you're in jail in Mexico." When he's like, "Oh wait, the tortillas are kind of still," and then just all the beans. He's like, "That's what you get," and if you're lucky, some water.
Honestly, I actually would be okay because that's what I lived off of both pregnancies, man. All I could eat was Pintos and cheese from Taco Bell. And every time I would walk into Taco Bell, they're like, Pintos and cheese? And I'm like, yeah, because I was so sick with both of them. Oh, my God, I was going to throw up all the time. But, yeah, I guess I could. I could go to the Mexican jail, I guess, and live.
When we were, that's funny, Aunt Scooby. When my wife was pregnant with my first, we were starting out. We were really strapped for money. So there was this place called the Whole Enchilada, and it was it was like a 2 foot long burrito that was like it was bigger around. It was like the size around of like a quart of beer. Yeah. And it was and 2 feet long, and they put cheese and sauce on it, so it looked like an enchilada. Okay. And it was super cheap. It was like $5.99 back in the day, or no, it wasn't that cheap. Yeah. It was like $15, I think. But we would take that one thing and eat it all week long. You know what I'm saying? That like we would go buy that and survive off it for like 4 or 5 days.
That's good. I think I remember that place, the Whole Enchilada. I think we had one down in like Ceremony or somewhere.
There is a couple of franchises. It was a mom and pop operation, the one that I went to. That isn't open anymore. But to this day, my point being, to this day, my oldest child loves Mexican food. He will go poop scoop in the rain.
Yeah, I love Mexican food too.
If a super burrito's in it for him, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's because I'm Mexican though. That's why.
We are Mexican.
Well, no, my papa's part, and I guess my dad's real dad was, because remember, Papa Barry wasn't my dad's real dad.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I guess it was Uncle Richard's dad,
but that's like a little Mexican, like
which is crazy. I realized that the other day, dude. It's like I totally identify as white, and I've always identified as German and Spanish. I mean, okay, yeah, there is definitely tons of Spanish because that comes from both sides, also.
I identify as a Mexican.
Yeah. Well, if you want to get technical, if you were born here, you're a Native American. So I mean, just like if you're born in China, you're native Chinese. Like it doesn't matter what nationality you are. Where you're born is where you're native from. So I mean, people can.
Well, that's what I always say. His great grandpa Luke was
Indian and Mexican. It was Indian and Mexican.
He was born in Mexico.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, that's a whole other show. We should get moving on. Yeah, let's move on to our next. We've only gotten through one topic and we're half hour in. Let's get into the next
Pharmaceutical.
Pharmaceutical company. This is something that Auntie you wanted to touch on, right? About how
I can't wait for this.
Go, come on, start off.
All right. You go first. No,
all right.
I want to go clean up. I want to back clean up on this one.
All right, I know. It's just like bowling. Everyone wants me to start. It's most aspects of my life, people want me to start the shit, bro. But that's okay. I'm really good at it. I'm good at starting shit. So anyway, yeah, pharmaceutical company, bro. You know what really grinds my gears is the pharmaceutical company.
Okay, Peter.
You know, that really grinds my gears.
Right?
I'm trying to sell it.
And the media company, medical industry in general, you know, what Auntie was talking about was how, you know, how they like to just diagnose people with something and then just give you medications, you know what I'm saying? You know that over half of Gen Z is diagnosed, not just claims, but diagnosed with a mental illness. Over half of them. You know, and I mean, 70% of them identify as transgender, but that's a whole nother topic right there, which we'll kind of touch on a little bit. But you know, that's just, you know, conditioning and being told something by all your peers and people that you, everyone that you socialize with as an adult. If they all sat there and said, "Hey, you're a squirrel," and everyone said you're a squirrel for fucking 7 years straight when you're a little guy, you're gonna start actually, fuck, maybe I am a squirrel. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. Pharmaceutical companies, they just want to diagnose people with something and just put you on something. I mean, that's why any one of us can go out right now. Google online mental health symptoms, and I promise you've got like 50 of them. Yes, you, everyone. And,
you know, that's part of the problem, because like that, you're totally right. You're hitting the nail right on the head. But I just want to interject real quick that like, people Google their fucking mental health issues, and it's the same fucking thing as WebMD. Is like Googling your health issues. Yeah. And fucking people be diagnosing themselves with like fucking stage fucking 4 leukemia and Lou Gehrig's disease and all this other crazy shit, and all they got is hypertension. Or something, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I Googled myself one time because I had like a crick in my neck and I wasn't quite sure what was going on, dude. And after I read all the symptoms, I realized, dude, I had like fucking malaria and I was dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Syndrome?
Yeah, right? You know, you just discover you got fucking like Ebola, and so you're dying. So you know what I'm saying?
So my whole thing on pharmaceuticals is they when it comes to like depressions and anxiety, it can help somebody and it can save you. But when they're little teeny kids and they're hyperactive and so forth, sometimes I think they overdiagnose, because here's a funny story.
100%.
What?
100%. They overdiagnose.
So here's a funny story. So I had my son Bo. Raymond will show you a picture down the road maybe, and he was just off the charts all the time. He was climbing things. He was, you know, funny pictures. You know, cross-eyed all the time. I mean, the kid was great. We won't tell the nephew stories with the knife. Raymond, he's joking. Anyways.
No, I just took a massive rip.
I know.
Yeah.
So basically, so they just kept saying the teachers this, that, the other thing. And so I finally had to get him a certain thing so the teachers would have to help him. But I didn't get him diagnosed yet. So the teachers would have to help him, sit him in the front and do all this stuff. But he was a great kid, man. He was hilarious, you know, funny, great spirited kid. And they said, you know, he has ADHD. And I said, well, you know, maybe, I guess, maybe. So I took him in and I did all the testing and stuff, and all of a sudden they all came back, and yeah, he doesn't have ADHD. And it's like, okay, then what does he have? You know, I'm crying, parents, is he ever going to grow through this? I mean, dude, it was brutal. And one mom finally came to me, and she said, Sarah, I have 2 boys. He's a boy.
Yeah, just let him be.
Let him be. He's going to grow out of it, and you're going to wish he was that way again.
Yep.
Trust me. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm crying, freaking out, because I'm like, oh my god, that's why I got all this gray hair, you know. So yeah,
you know, Cat Williams tells
no drugs for him. He's 17. He's doing fine. He's a
That's right. Kid. That's right. The worst thing you could do is put your kids on drugs, because what people don't understand about psych drugs is psych drugs, they artificially create certain chemicals in your brain that certain psychologists say you're lacking, and that's why you act a certain way. So what happens is this artificial substance is creating these chemicals. Well, your brain actually stops creating them because it's, even if it was or wasn't, like it literally stops because it's not going to produce extra because it's getting it elsewhere. Then if you ever stop taking medication, that's why you see people who stop taking their meds and they fucking flip out. It's because of the medications, you know? And,
Michael Savage used to talk about it. Geez, I wish there's, like, of all the mass shooters that we've had in the last, you notice the large,
89, 85% of them.
You notice you got to kind of have your head in the sand if you haven't noticed the up spike and shit like that happening in the last 15, 20 years. You know, that shit used to never
mental health
happen.
People. Yep.
Never up. No, it's the drugs that they're giving them.
Well, yeah.
You know, all these mass shooters, all in almost any. I don't know about. That's a whole other show. But like 85-95% of them are on drugs that do the same thing, and it fucks with the chemistry in your brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so Cat Williams does the little story, which we've all probably seen or heard, and his kid, same issue, was hyperactive, and they wanted to put him on. They put him on Ritalin or something like that, right? And fucking Cat, remember, he goes, and he remembers the day that he comes in and gives the kid the first pill, right? You're saying, and look, he used to run everywhere, run. That's all he did was just run around. We give him this pill, and Cat goes, it's crazy. Kids run around. All of a sudden, in mid run, the kid just, and Cat's pretending like he's running across the stage, and then it's like does like the splits and it's like hits the floor, and he's just sitting there. And then he tells us, for the first hour it was cool. But by hour 4, I come around the corner and the little dude's still sitting there. And I'm like, he's a couple hours into it. And I go, hey, what are you doing? And he goes, thinking. And he goes, what are you thinking about? He goes, running. And the guy, and then he goes, that's the moment I went, holy shit, dude, this is not right, dude. Like, so what? The kid wants to run. And so what? The kid wants to run.
I was such a bad mom that basically we were all sitting at the table and all the tests come back. And so I hadn't told everybody it was Marina, Dad, and me. And
don't call yourself a bad mom.
Yeah, no, you did a good job. Your kids are pretty good. They could have turned out. They could have turned out like me.
I go, well, I have the thing for the test, the results. So I open it up and everybody's ready, waiting to hear the ADHD or something. I go, Bo Busini has no ADHD, no nothing. I looked at her, I go, he's just an asshole.
It was like a Maury episode, right? After you read the results.
I go, he's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's just a Lukowitz. What do you want? He's just one of us. Actually, unfortunately, I'm more Hazen than Lukowitz, realistically. Even though I used to tell people all the time I'm doubly sucked.
Yeah, you go to jail a lot.
I'm a Hazen and a Lukowitz, perfectly blended. That's a horrible combination, dude. I'm like a troublemaker with a bad attitude, dude. It's really not great.
Troublemaker, bad, and you're loud.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother show.
Anyway, yeah. So pharmaceutical
something else. I'm pulling us back.
Yeah.
Something else I wanted to talk about on the pharmaceutical thing.
Good, because
what?
I said good because I wasn't quite done. Let's roll. Come on.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you guys probably don't have it out there. It's bigger out here on the West Coast. But my insurance provider, Kaiser, I've noticed that everybody that has this healthcare has the same shit. An overwhelming a majority like this.
Yeah.
I've never personally had Kaiser, but I've
got this. My wife's got this. I was talking to a couple other buddies that have the same insurance plan. They've got it. Their wife's got it. What are those breathing things that you when you sleep? The apnea mat?
CPAP machine.
like 80% of the people that I know that have Kaiser have one of those. And
something else to charge you.
Well, no, I think it's a little bit more than that, I think. But yeah, well, no, because it's included in your money for the most part. But what it is they get like drug reps and in the pharmaceutical industry and device reps, like as far as the CPAP machine's concerned, they go to hospitals and healthcare provider headquarters and sell their product, right? Okay. And a lot of times, this is something not very many people know, but it's true. They'll throw in incentives, like if you guys do 10,000 prescriptions of Flonase, everybody that prescribed it gets an extra $15,000 or something like that. I'm just making up arbitrary numbers.
Right.
But it is something that's true and is happening.
Yeah.
So, like, they're pushing stuff on us that we don't even need, just because they're trying to make basically a quota, to ring that bell.
Well, and it all goes into it's all about making money. That's what it all is.
That's what it is.
That's why everyone can get diagnosed with something.
It's not about making people healthy. It's about making money.
No. There's an old saying, and I say it's an old saying because I used to say it since I was like a teenager, and and it's something I've heard from people.
Back when Christ was a cowboy.
Yeah, back when Christ was a cowboy,
Yeah, exactly.
I love that, dude. That's gonna be another T-shirt we have to make here one of these days. But, man, I lost my train of thought now.
Marijuana affects the memory.
Smoke another.
I lost it. What were you saying, bro? I totally lost it now, bro.
Before Christ was a cowboy.
Yeah, I got that. I got Christ was a cowboy. That's
Let's go to the next topic.
Lost me was Christ the cowboy.
I totally lost it too, dude. I was going off on how Kaiser fucking prescribes all their patients the same shit to make money, and we're talking about how it's all about money and it's not about making people healthy.
In an old folks' home.
Oh! I totally remember now. It's there's no money in cures. All the money's in treatment. And that's true. They don't, like, there's so many diseases and things out there. This was always, a conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory,
right? That a lot of diseases were man-made, and you don't actually create a disease. And that's not actually necessarily untrue, because a lot of diseases are man-made, and you don't necessarily create something without having a cure for it. You create them both simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things there are cures for, I believe, that they don't necessarily give us. And the reason being is because a one-time. Why charge you $100,000 once? When I can charge you $10,000 twice a year for the rest of your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? And So the money's in the treatment, it's not in the cure. And that's why they don't want you to get better. They want you to seek help and treatment. That's why you hear that word, you never hear come get better. You hear come get treatment. Come seek help. And that's the reason.
Sometimes I think pharmaceuticals does do well, but I have to admit, in like an old folks home, when grandma was in the old folks home, we thought she was dying. We thought she was dead. She was going for a loop, sitting there, couldn't even eat. It's like, remember how bad she was, Raymond? In the old home? I think they were drugging her up. They were drugging her up hard.
Oh, yeah. No, they definitely
were. drugging her so hard that we thought she was dying. I was laying in bed taking a picture with her. Somebody was dying. I was like, what the hell? And and me and his mom said, take everything away that they're giving her. And all of a sudden, Vicky's still taking care of her. Poor Vicky, but she's taking care of her, and she's like, what, 3-4 years ago that was? What was that?
Yep, that was. No, check it out.
Just took the drugs away. It was killing her.
Yep, with them, just like with kids, the reason the teachers are pushing so much for, your kid's got to stop, your kid's got to do this, is because same reason why they were pushing for schools to be closed down so long, and some still are, and it's because they don't actually want to work. These people in these fields, they fake like they want to help people, and they fake that they want to, not all, but a majority, and they fake this because they don't want to actually work. That's why they're doing these jobs. They think they can just sit around and collect a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? They don't actually want to put in the effort and realize, it's like...
They're going to see what they've created in the next, 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I'm scared as shit.
I think it's going to be about 15, 20 years, but it's going to be bad.
You got to remember that it's Gen Z. They're turning 18 now, and some of them are already over. So their generation is starting. It's right now, and so in the next 10 years, we're going to see the fruits of all of this.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
Yeah,
very scary.
I don't even know what they're driving their thoughts towards. Like what? I can't even talk when it gets.
Honestly, for some reason, I think the end goal of all is the subjugation and destruction of everything Western, Christian, and white.
That's a really good segue right in there to our next topic, which is San Francisco Robocops.
Yes, this is a topic.
Have you guys fucking... I know, Scooby, I sent you some links.
Yeah,
have you seen any of this, Aunt Scooby?
I have not seen it.
Have you heard about this at all yet? No, have you heard about this?
No, you know what? We don't even watch Channel 2, 4, 5 News. We
don't
watch it.
No.
I'm watching it.
No.
I follow.
I only watch it, and if I do watch it, it's just the weather, like, hey, what's happening with the weather?
That's why I watch them. That's why I watch them, is because the channel I watch. I think they have
that's
the best
depressing weather. Because that's depressing to have the Robocops, because it's like they actually do a very good job out there. It is crazy out there. You walk through the streets, it's brutal. You guys know it's just brutal.
Oh yeah, brutal.
Back in the day, they got away with shit and everything. But it's just like they're taking these jobs away from these guys if they're going to do this. And then secondly, they're going to know how to fight. Someone's going to come and just kick them over. What? I don't get it.
Well, they actually had a miniature projectile explosive. They had a small rocket launcher. They had a small rocket launcher.
They'll do explosives.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And I imagine they probably had guns at some point.
No, they do. They do, dude.
No. They had the explosive, the projectile explosive. That I know about. From what I saw, they didn't have actual guns. They had a projectile explosive.
No, they have ones that can hold any fucking pistol.
Nice.
Well, not any, but most pistols. There's an augmentation for rifles, for shotguns. They can use. They say they can use beanbags and rubber bullets. But
let me interject. Let me interject my point, and then we'll let you go because this is your topic, Jason. So I can see the positive and negative from both sides of this one. Okay, I can see the negative because I also am a firm believer that if it isn't zombies, it's Terminator or nuclear apocalypse. Those are the 3 ways that we're going out as a civilization in the world. It's going to be either zombies, it's going to be nuclear, or it's going to be fucking robots. And I'm telling you, that's how it's going to end. And so,
no aliens.
Mark it here. I don't think so, because which I do believe they're out there. It's a shot. It's smaller than a dart on a dartboard to find a planet with life. So that's why I don't think we've actually been visited, because there's a bajillion worlds that don't have life. You know what I'm saying?
Bajillion.
Okay, George Bush.
Or we're just someone's belly button.
Right? And you're right. We could just be lint in a belly button for all we know. We really don't, you know? Little amoebas growing in a fucking petri dish don't realize that's what they are.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
But
anyway,
go down that
back
to Robocops.
You are illegally parked on private property. You have 20 seconds to move your vehicle.
I could see it being very bad because what happens, just like the reason I don't like self-parking cars or cars that correct their lanes, what happens when that technology fucking has a hiccup, malfunctions, and and he just blows up a fucking a nursing home or a school of nuns, taking care of orphan puppies, you know what I'm saying, and just blows them up.
Well, not even that. Like, what if like your car? Actually, I think Honda's having an issue with it on their auto brake system. That I just watched. All of a sudden, your brakes just lock up, dude. You're going down the freeway 70 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you come to a dead stop. Guess what's going to happen to your ass end?
Hey, we've all been on 80 during rush hour when it's not going too slow, and you're packed in there doing 55. What happens when that thing just decides to you got to lane correct? And you correct right into the car next to you in the middle of doing 50. Right? So I'm cool off all that. So anyway, that's all negative. But on the other hand, I can also see the positive of it because it would remove all the good cops from getting negative publicity from all the libtards and all the people who want to say they're violent and evil. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no accident. Robots can't be made, they don't make mistakes. They do what they're told, and that's it. There's no personal feeling put involved. And on top of it, if a robot does, let's say, injure somebody, a person necessarily, unless they're manually operating it like a remote control.
But what, is the robot
that's how it is. What's that?
Is the robot going to chase the guy and then jump on him and put him in handcuffs and then?
Look, who knows? Maybe they got one of those one of those things they used to. No. Around the legs.
What?
We're just gonna go around blowing everybody up.
What I'm saying is that is the other half. That's the part of the iceberg that we don't have that we don't see right now. But no, what they got right now, it looks kind of like that fucking. It looks like a drone. I mean, it's non-human looking. And it fucking like a pair of tracks or like 8 wheels, and it just goes around. It's got an autonomous arm that just fucking swings around.
I picture
bad humans.
Johnny 5 with just like a fucking cannon.
It kind of looks like Johnny 5, dude. Okay. That's
what I'm picturing.
It kind of does.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Number 5?
Yep. I mean, what else could it be? It has to be Johnny 5.
And he's still alive. No,
I won't tell you the story.
No disassemble. Sorry.
Yeah.
Johnny 5 is alive. Those patos kick your ass. Those patos kick your face. Those patos kick your balls into outer space. What were you saying, Nancy? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. You guys keep going.
Johnny 5, man. I love that. So for all the kids out there, Short Circuit. Go ahead.
Short Circuit. What that was like 88, I think. 80.
Oh, the first one, yeah, about that.
88, 87.
Sooner. Maybe they both. Here, you know what? Matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and
let's fact it.
Fact it. Short Circuit.
But yeah, dude, I seen that was one of the first movies I seen in the theater.
I absolutely love that movie. Short Circuit.
What's it called?
Short Circuit. Why am I not getting a fucking link? Why doesn't it just pop? Oh, it's because I'm on Bing. That's why. Here, I'm going to use my phone. Come on, phone.
This dog.
Come on, phone.
Does anybody want a dog? Need a dog.
No, I got too many.
Get down.
I've got
he is
3.
so, like, worried about me constantly. It's brutal. Get down.
1986 and part 2 came out in 88.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
back
sir.
when I was 10 years old.
Oh my god.
Let's see here. 86,
88?
I would have been 4.
Great.
And 86, I would have been 4, and 88, I would have been 6.
88, I was 18.
For sureness.
Foxy Mama, isn't that what they used to say back then?
Yes, another one was Foxy.
Foxy Lady.
Foxy Lady.
Me and your mom had shirts from Tennessee, and it was in red glitter writing. Ask her, and it said Foxy Lady. We got them at the Grand Ole Opry. We wore them around all the time.
Really? What's the Grand Ole Opry, huh?
Well, we went to the park. It's a Grand Ole Opry Park there.
Okay.
It's
very
fun.
cool. Very cool.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about the whole
robots
thing.
Okay,
yeah. Like we were talking about it kind of in jest.
Okay, let's
But no, it is actually a serious thing.
I know it is.
And they're not autonomous. I mean, I don't know if that's the right word. That's not the right word. They're manually controlled.
Autonomous is taken from automated, so I mean, I'm pretty sure that.
So
autonomous is its own.
They are controlled by a human.
Yeah.
Directly. They don't. They're
For
not
now.
programmed. They're not exactly. And that's the thing.
I just see an accident.
What's that?
I just see an accident waiting to happen.
It is. It's a loose cannon.
Ruiz was a loose cannon. He played it fast, and he played it loose. And in the end, he got burned.
Be that as it may.
Loose cannon.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
figuratively and literally.
Yes. It exactly is. And like one of the things that like on a legal standpoint, just to start with, if it shoots you and doesn't kill you,
okay.
It only makes you stronger.
Right? It's just a weakness leaving the body. No, but what I was getting at was that you have no direct recourse against it. Legally, like you have the right to face your accuser. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like the stoplight cameras that
what
went
about
away all of a sudden.
The guy driving it? Could he be in trouble?
Yeah,
well,
it would have to be the person driving it.
That's just driving it. I like it.
He's a real human being. It's the same concept.
Right. But what I'm saying is no. It opens up all this legalese and a rabbit hole that. And not only that, I mean that's just one part of it. But like we were talking about and joking about, and where does it end? And when do they start making them like, okay, you're just going to walk around and look for anybody with a gun?
Well, they have like a laser.
Walk around.
Carry.
Walk around they put some magnets and shit on it so they can detect when there's metal on somebody. Walk around and look for anybody with a gun.
Yeah.
And what happens when they start busting people because they got titanium kneecaps and shit, thinking it's a gun?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be pretty, folks.
No, I agree.
Wait, is he a robot?
Gavin Newsom?
No, but could be. Arnold Schwarzenegger when he goes, "Fuck you, asshole." Was he a robot at the end? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah. Terminator. That's what we're talking about.
Well, he was a robot in Terminator. Did he say "fuck you, asshole" in Terminator?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, he did.
What?
That would be part 2. Yeah. All right.
Food for thought.
Next.
One more thing, real quick.
Okay.
Fuck it. Start with Terminator, and then do RoboCop. Like when we're actually talking about it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Just like in somewhere in the intro, throw in like a little Terminator blurb, so like it could be like him saying "Hasta la vista, baby," or just anything to prelude to what we're talking about.
All right, I'll try to figure that out. I'll think about it. I don't know.
I know how much you love it when I tell you what to do with your show.
Well, no. It's our show. I like ideas. It's just you got to remember, Terminator's not a cop. He's a fucking vigilante.
He's not a cop. That's right.
So, and we're talking about Robocops. So
that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. He's not a cop.
But I did make
Skynet is what I was thinking when I.
I did make a Terminator reference in the episode. I was thinking, what is it, Omnicore? Isn't that what it is?
Skynet.
Well, Skynet's Terminator. No, what's the name of the company in RoboCop?
Oh, I don't remember. I think yeah. I think it might be Omnicore. I'm not sure. Are you digging?
Yeah, one more. Then we'll teabag. Omni Consumer Products.
Omnicore.
Yeah. No, Corp. CORP. Yeah. It's Omnicorp.
And so, yeah, there were...
it's OCP. That's what it is. OCP. Omni Consumer Products. OCP. Yeah. All right, let's get into the final segment when everyone comes for the meat and potatoes. You go to the old teabagging. And today we're teabagging this... I don't even know what the heck her name is, dude.
Is it her? Are you sure it's her?
Yeah, well, I mean, crazy blue-haired liberals could be a guy for all I know. I don't even know her name, dude, but I'll put it in the bottom right here when I find it. So this college professor lady here, and we're gonna go ahead and cut to it. Should we watch her?
Dr. Jessica Squevel. I'm murdering that.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Esquuivel. Esquivel? I don't know. Dr. Jessica.
Dr. Jessica.
We're talking about the queer universe, yeah?
Yes, queer universe. So this professor gets up and discusses how we have a queer universe.
I love the header in it. A quantum explanation. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ.
Should we check this out real quick, Jason?
Check it out.
Yeah, let's see it.
Queer. Differing in some way from what is usual or normal. As a society, we tend to think in absolutes. Black or white, gay or straight, male or female. But what if I were to tell you that the universe is non-binary? That from cosmological scales to subatomic scales, that the universe is actually super queer. So it isn't such a crazy leap to assume that everything inside our universe is also queer. Does that make you uncomfortable? Or are you cautiously optimistic that the universe may offer some comfort? My name is Dr. Jessica Esquivel. I'm a Black, Mexican, queer, neurodivergent woman. I'm also a particle physicist. And today, leveraging my expertise on the intricacies of the quantum realm, we are going to create a reimagining of our universe. Everything around us, everything from the galaxies filled with stars to the extraordinary depths of our oceans filled with creatures beyond our wildest dreams, are made up of a fundamental set of particles. These teensy tiny particles live and interact in a world unlike our own. In our macro world, we tend to think binary categorizations and absolutes are the norm. But if we tunnel down into the smallest spaces of our universe, we enter a world where queerness and chaos reign supreme. All matter is a peculiar conundrum that we don't quite understand. Even confounding still, even though all matter in the universe, including atoms, molecules, humans, plants, planets, galaxies, oceans, all of that only consists of 5% of the visible matter that we can see in our universe. 5%. So the rest of it is dark energy and dark matter, and that's another confounding topic for another talk. But all this to say that it is an existential fact that we are anomalies in our universe. And the most existential question at the heart of my research is not if we are queer, but why we are queer. And I wonder if we were to let the chaos of quantum mechanics infiltrate our thinking, if we were to let go of those rigid processes we have and become one with the queer universe, I wonder, maybe, possibly, scientific discoveries would become easier.
She's virtual signaling, dude. She is wearing the fucking Ukrainian flag.
So
totally.
Give me the basis of what you said again.
So, first off, we got to start that she's a woman who begins by identifying herself as black, Mexican, queer, neurodivergent professor. So, I mean, we got to remember the professor comes after all of that stuff, right? Of quantum physics. And it's funny because, I always use quantum physics as my thing. I go, hey, I don't know anything about quantum physics, because when people go, oh, Raymond, you know everything. You act like you know everything. I go, no, I don't know fucking quantum physics, But this woman makes me wonder, does anyone really? But anyway.
Well, it's kind of like saying, I don't know, ask the rocket scientist to fucking design this shit or something. You know what I mean?
So what she's talking about, Auntie, is basically on the quantum level, because, that's something that we can't all see. If you break down the entire universe, everything in the universe is queer.
It's the fourth dimension.
Yeah, exactly.
Speculating on.
And she's saying how it's queer, and everything's queer. And, I find it funny because that statement contradicts itself, because queer, okay, let's ignore gay. Queer just means different or odd or abnormal, and that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to rationalize queerness, rationalize abnormality and whatnot, okay, and so everything. So if everything's queer, then nothing actually is, because that would be the norm then. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that is actually what she's trying to say.
That's too heavy.
But
no, that's not.
It is, dude.
That's too heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it is what she's saying, but it's not. I don't get that's what she's actually trying to go for, because she's trying to, like I said, because I've watched the thing. She's trying to say that, the queerness is no, like it's. I mean, I guess in a way she is, but she's trying to justify being different, and she's trying to say that we all are, and everything is.
And that everybody should be.
Yeah, and that everyone should be.
That's called individualism, you fucking idiots.
Right?
Not you guys. All down.
Do you think this is the fourth dimension, or we're going into the fourth dimension?
The fourth dimension is something that we cannot comprehend at this point.
The quantum realm is I believe it's the fourth dimension or something like that. It's
well, maybe we'll just meet her there. We'll just meet her there, and maybe she might be right. I don't know. I mean, I'm religious. I don't know. I hope there's a heaven.
Well, I'm made up of universe particles, and I'm pretty fucking sure I'm not queer.
Gay, straight, it's all the same now. There are no more lines.
Well, there's a line, and on this side of it, we ain't gay.
So, obviously not everything.
Maybe the next dimension is everybody is. That's what she might be saying then.
Well, no, Jason just brought up, she didn't bring up dimensions at all.
Oh.
She's talking about quantum physics. Jason just said...
quantum physics, maybe the next quantum physics or something. I don't know. Something like that. But anyways. I don't
That's
know,
a
man.
whole other show.
I can't see that. I mean,
Well,
I would. Not true.
I would
So.
totally love to put a big, giant nutsack on her forehead. If we could go ahead and put them bad boys on there real quick, I have to tell you, this freaking loony can just go ahead. What? Where did she get her PhD? That's what I want to know.
Can you find somebody that believes that? I mean, is there other people?
Well, somebody believes it because they fucking took the time to do it.
They didn't just take the time to do it. That's an actual TED Talk, you guys. And I know that you were just asking what that is and what that means, but like, it's the hugest, most popular, most like billion-dollar industry of self-help seminars and educational seminars that's out there. Like my school, in some of my classes, will show TED Talks. Like it used to be a thing. Like I used to go, oh, a TED Talk, this is good. But I've been watching more and more TED Talks like this, and TED Talks about gender theory, and TED Talks about critical race theory, and TED Talks about how whites are the devil. And like, you know, matter of fact, the lady we're teabagging in the next episode, I've seen her on a TED Talk before. And
well, that's another show.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, that's a whole other show where I have to come in and talk about school. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, so this woman, she just basically what it is it's all more of a ploy to justify and rationalize being queer and normalize the trans and queer movement, because what they're doing is they're trying to assert it into the science. That's what it is, Jason. Because you know how it's big about science. You know, the science. Well, now it's in the science.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
that's very true. I didn't even bring that up because I didn't think anybody else would notice, but that is spot on.
Now
that's exactly what's happening.
Pay attention.
I watched a movie the other night called Mandela Effect. It's almost something trippy like that. I don't know.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, you need to watch that. Raymond needs to talk on that subject one time.
But yeah, mark my words. I guarantee within 6 months to a year, you're going to have some other professor get up and probably do a TED Talk about how on the biological level, when you break down our fucking atoms and stuff, you know, biology-wise, everything's queer. You know, watch. I guarantee, because it's trying to assert it into the science now. That way, you know, you can get rid of the science argument. You know, I mean, they're already trying to say that Jesus was trans and God was non-binary and all that. I mean, because they're trying to discredit religion, and they're trying to discredit actual science.
Just try to discredit everything that's just.
It's not that they're trying to they are trying to discredit it, but that's not their goal. The goal is to demoralize and take morals out of our society.
Correct.
So, it's much easier for look at China for like a totalitarian, like a hive mind. There's no room for religion if the state wants to be your religion.
True.
That's what's going on. That's what's happening.
They're trying to turn.
Well, before all this got woke and everything, I had to go through the pre-woke, and so the pre-woke was really hard to get through, because if they knew that you were not awoke, then they were like just bombarding you with stuff. And exactly, I will just say, some neighbors, that was their religion. Their religion was politics, and it was sad, because it's like you couldn't talk about anything else but what they wanted to talk about, and it's just like, I was raised just to have fun with everybody. It doesn't matter what color or gender or whatever you think you are. You don't even talk about it. You just talk about what you did that day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. Up until about, I'd say 8 to 10 years ago.
Yep.
Race wasn't even an issue for like the last 30 years, bro. Like we didn't even talk about it. Like throughout my entire childhood, we never even talked about race.
We also in our family, we didn't teach that. You know, we taught.
Like no one did. Like it wasn't an issue. It wasn't an issue
I don't
anymore.
even think in school, right? Not even in school.
No, it hadn't been an issue since like the late 60s, early 70s was like the last time it was slightly an issue. Like race fucking totally became not an issue after the 70s. You know?
When you do that show, have me back, because that's the one I can talk about.
Oh,
nice. Alrighty, you guys. Well, I guess that's all we got for today for this episode.
I'm gonna say bye.
All right. There's later to
Thanks
Auntie.
for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yep, totally. Come back anytime. And are you gonna be sticking around for the next episode, or are you gonna bounce out? Oh, she bounced out. All right, no worries. That's all right. Her topic got covered, you know. But anyway, yeah. So I guess that's it. And are you
gonna do? Do you want to do another call? So it's two separate.
So next time, everybody, backed off.
Fact you.
Yo.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.
Yeah, fucking disco pool party, yeah, fuck you. Smoke a lot of weed and get really fucking stoned. Yeah.